So you're feeling a little complacent, huh? Okay, bestie, we need to talk about it because I got you. And what I need you to know going into the last little bit of this season, because again, your girl's doing 12 episodes at a time before we take a little break, then come back. But going into these next, I would say 3 episodes for sure, we're going to be talking now a little bit more about the blocks, the things that's going to get in your way, how to handle that so that you stop playing out the same mother effing process and pattern where you try, you fall off, it doesn't happen. You try, you pull back, it doesn't happen. Things get hard. I'm so sick of it. I don't want you doing that anymore because truly, you don't lack capability. You don't lack what it takes. You don't lack any of it, except maybe the emotional resilience, the confidence, discipline, and habits to make it actually happen, which is exactly what we focus on so heavily inside Fiera. But the thing is like, it's so frustrating to me how, and I love you guys, but I want to shake you because why do you stay so stuck? Why do you stay so stuck? Well, I guess I'm giving you those answers in these episodes, but that's what we need to talk about. Today, we're talking about complacency because I see it happening. I see it in my DMs. I see it in girls who come in Fiera. I see it in myself sometimes where you start strong. You're crushing it. You're building momentum. Things are starting to actually move a little bit. And then you ease up. Maybe not dramatically or consciously, but you slow down. You ghost the opportunities. You take 3 days to do what you could knock out in an hour. And you tell yourself it's fine, but you kind of know it's not, right? You've been working hard. You're still showing up, but you're just kind of pulling back. The standards are lowering. And that's literally what it is that suddenly and quietly, your standards that you know it requires to hit your goals suddenly ease up. They get lowered. They're not in place. They're not very steady. And what's actually happening is that you're in complacency, bestie. But we got to define complacency because I guarantee I'm about to talk about it in a way that you've not heard before. And let's just make a deal right now, you and me, okay? You and me, we're making a deal. You ready? If I completely reshape your perspective on everything you've ever heard about complacency and help you see exactly why you've been hesitating and holding back on what you want, you have to agree that you'll at least consider the offer that I have at the end for you that I've literally never done before and may never do again because it's so good. Deal? Okay, deal. All right, so you have been taught that complacency is laziness. Like if I really think about what I used to think of as complacency and how I used to judge myself for it, I saw it as laziness, as a loss of motivation, a lack of discipline. Almost like we almost talk about it a lot of the times as this character flaw or this moral failing or a weakness or like something's wrong with you. Or on the flip, we judge ourselves and other people who get complacent. Like they just gave up or didn't want more or are settling or got too comfortable. I actually see this all the time. I didn't think about this before. I see this all the time in girls who are in more steady relationships and come to coaching where they all of a sudden are like so upset about their partners getting complacent. Their partners are getting complacent in their careers. They're getting complacent at the gym. They're getting complacent in the relationship. And so often the girls want to control it. They want to control and they want to get their partner to not be complacent and to be disciplined and have these standards and match what they want. But oftentimes that's actually happening because it's so much easier to try and control your partner's complacency than actually just deal with your own complacency. Anyway, just sharing that because, again, we low-key judge people when we think they're getting complacent. And complacency is so often, especially for people who are you want more in your life. You want these big things. Complacency is almost like the antithesis of all of it. It's like we're settling for less. We're just staying where we are. It's almost this sign that we're like truly just looking at our potential and what we have and then sitting down on the couch and eating a bag of potato chips and being like, nah, not for me. So we really dislike it. And so often it's like a physical reaction in our bodies when we see other people being complacent or ourselves are being complacent. So if you've been taught and just have come to believe that complacency is that laziness, loss of motivation, lack of discipline, all of these things, It also means you've definitely been taught that the solution is push harder, get more motivated, want it more, be more disciplined, find your why again. Bestie, has that ever worked for you? Like, ever? Probably not. Because your complacency, if you did try that, it just came back. Your sabotage, you're hesitating, you're pulling back, it just came back. I gotta say, girls are in my DMs all the time asking me how the F do I get out of my cycle of pushing hard and I'm disciplined for a week or two or a month and then I fall off again. Like, girls are in my DMs about that just as much as the dudes used to be in my DMs when I was on the dating apps. Like, you guys are relentless on this topic and you're all there saying the same thing. I don't know why I can only keep it up for a couple weeks. Well, bitch, lovingly, I do. You keep trying to push harder, relying on motivation, being more disciplined, finding clarity. And I tell each one of you, you would have this fixed if you just joined Fieta. We could fix it within like 2 weeks. But you know the truth? Those girls, bless their hearts, some of you are listening, I love you. You won't join because the truth is you like staying stuck. And this episode is going to shatter your world on why. You know the funny thing though about those DMs is almost every single message like that will include the word motivation. But motivation is optional when identity is strong. Motivation is optional when discipline is strong. I do, like, I'm going to just tell you this right now. It is 5:38 p.m. I would love to just be done with work right now. I didn't want to record this episode. I don't need motivation to get in this energy. I don't need motivation to record this because I'm a person who does what I say I'm going to do. I keep my word. My discipline's strong. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be loyal to who I want to be. But when you are always thinking about like, I lack motivation, I'm not motivated to do these things, that's because you lack the identity necessary. You lack the discipline necessary. So you have to rely on motivation, which is an incredibly fleeting emotion. Topic for another day. I just went off topic. I know I just came for your throats with that last sentence of motivational is optional when identity is strong. But complacency, it's not a character flaw. I want you to really hear my definition for this. Complacency is not a character flaw. It's a nervous system response. Complacency is a nervous system response. It is your nervous system's way of saying, the next level requires more than I trust that we can handle. And when you actually understand complacency is that, it is your fear or lack of belief about your next level, it changes everything about how we solve it. Because complacency isn't this thing that happens when you're lazy or undisciplined or stuck at the bottom. It happens any single time that you've decided you're not yet ready for your next level. The people stuck in complacency, like this is the thing that is really a huge difference in thinking. Complacency isn't for people who are, it's not only being experienced by people who lack ambition. Because the people stuck in complacency are often drowning in ambition. They want the next level badly. You guys think about it constantly. You see the path clearly, but there's a gap between what you want and what you actually do. You know this gap. You feel it. You say you want to blow up your brand, but you hesitate to post and you hesitate on the strategy and you tweak it every couple weeks and you just negotiate out of it. You say you want a big business, but you're ghosting the DMs. You're scared of selling. You're afraid of making that much money. You say you want the body, but did you work out yesterday and today and the day before that? Like, are you showing up like it? No. You're not lacking ambition. It's because part of you is afraid of what's going to happen next at that next level. And I want to be really clear on this quickly before I move forward. I used to kind of mix up what complacency was and contentment, where I want to define it. Contentment is really genuinely peace with where you are. It's satisfaction that is driven by genuine alignment. Contentment is acceptance driven by alignment. Like, you're good, right? Whereas complacency is almost acceptance that is driven by fear. It is choosing the predictable discomfort that you know over the unknown exposure of the next level. So kind of the distinction of how I had to think about it for myself is contentment is almost like, I'm good here. Yeah, it feels really good here. Whereas complacency is almost like, I'm safer here. One is a choice and the other is a defense mechanism. You see, it's a nervous system response. So why does this happen? And here's what I found from coaching hundreds of girls and guys over the last couple of years. Complacency kicks in when you unconsciously believe the next level will cost you more than you can handle. Your nervous system is basically constantly running the math of, okay, the next level means more visibility, which means more judgment, or it means more responsibility, which means higher stakes for failure, or it's more uncertainty, which means less control, or more consistency, which means I have less room for error. And what if I can't handle it? Or a different identity and all these things. And if your nervous system thinks that there's more to the next level than you're ready to handle, it taps the brakes. And you will suddenly find yourself taking longer on goals that you know you're capable of hitting. Like you could hit that next level of income in a week, but it's been 6 months and you're still working on it. Like I have a client who she was working on hitting, literally creating any income in her business for like 6 months. 6 months. She finally joined Fiera and she was at 0 clients, 0 income in her first month in. She's making $10,000 because it wasn't a lack of capability. It was that she was hitting the brakes. Or you'll see it where you feel excited about opportunities and what is in front of you and the path that you want to take, but you're hesitating in your behavior. It's like someone will DM you about your offer and then you won't answer, or you'll take forever to email back to that brand. Or another really big thing that I see, oh my God, this one kills me, is that you're extremely busy. You're working long hours, but the needle's not moving, right? And we do this because it feels productive. It feels like we're putting in the work, but nothing's actually moving forward because we're not doing the big things that matter because we're actually afraid to do those things. Or there's almost a loss of urgency for tasks that support your goals. Or a big one is you feel a sense of relief and you slow down once you hit a goal instead of continuing forward. This is such a massive one where let's say you hit the milestone, you hit your sales goal, you hit a big goal that you wanted. And instead of going harder and being like, oh my God, if I did that and I didn't even think I could, like how far can I get? Let's see. Instead of going harder, you'll ease up. And it's like, oh my God, thank God I hit that goal. Okay, I did it. Okay, let me chill out. Or I've earned a break. I'll see this a lot where people will set, let's say, like a monthly goal. And if they hit that monthly goal, they'll just suddenly stop. Like they're done for the rest of the month. They'll ease up. Or they'll take all month to hit a goal that they literally could have hit within a week. Why? Because they're actually afraid of what if I just hit that in a week and keep going? They fear what it would bring, what it would mean, what's next. Or even thinking about your next level as this theoretical nice thing instead of something you're actively pursuing and something that you're going to have soon. You think about your goals as like, that would be nice instead of this is happening. Or avoidance of the things that you know would be good for you. Like you know it works, but you're not doing it. Does that all sound familiar? Like, you know what I mean? This is your system literally choosing stability over expansion. It's choosing familiarity over growth. It's almost choosing the known suffering of where I am over the unknowns of success. So often this happens when we would actually rather have a sense of control, when we're afraid and we want a sense of control. Complacency literally gives us a sense of control. Because if growth feels scary and if it feels like we don't know what's going to happen or we don't know if we can handle it or we don't know what's going to come, our nervous system will literally decide we'd rather have the control, have the familiar, and protect what we know. This is why girls don't join Fiera, even though they've been eyeing it, even though they just about kill for the results the girls get inside, even though they want their lives to blow up, even though they struggle with every problem Fiera solves within a couple weeks, they don't join. Because by not joining, they get to protect what they know. Even if it brings suffering and debt and insecurity and inferiority and comparison and feeling like you're not good enough. It's crazy. It's literally like, I'd rather have this extra $99 in my bank account and stay stuck where I am than risk the $99 and I don't know what's going to happen. What if it doesn't work? But like, girl, what if it does? Because it seems to for everyone else. Like you have to really notice how deep your patterns run. And complacency shows up for 2 big reasons. Number 1, you have lost belief that you can get further. You have hit your ceiling. You have decided that, you know what, I don't know if I can actually get further. And you're not actively thinking this thought. I want to be clear. It's not like all day going through your head, you're thinking, I don't know if I can get further. And I've hit my ceiling and this is as far as I can go. No, but your behavior shows that. Somewhere along the way, you stop believing that more is available to you. Because if you don't believe, this is why it happens. If you don't believe you can get further, why would you keep pushing? You don't believe. Like if I think a relationship, let's say my relationship, if I start to believe my relationship is a dead end, that he's not my human, why would I keep dating this person? No, I'm done. You're not my person. Get out of here. Right? So that's what happens here. If you don't believe you can get further, you get complacent. You ease up. You stop going as hard. You protect yourself from the disappointment of trying and not making it because you don't think you can. This is complacency as self-protection. You're not being lazy. You are protecting yourself from wanting something that currently you don't believe you can have. But that is so silly fixable. The second reason why complacency pops up is because you're terrified of the next level. I will see this sometimes with my Fiera tier 3 girls who they're crushing it. Making multiple six figures. They're hosting events that are just like bonkers. They're so cool. They're moving to places like Switzerland, Thailand, Dubai, Spain, getting multiple income streams. I could keep going. Anyway, these girls will sometimes get complacent because it's of this reason. They're terrified of the next level. They've gotten so far. I will see this sometimes. A girl will go and do more than she physically thought humanly possible for her life. I remember I had a client one time who she told me we went really hard for like 4 months. And she suddenly woke up one day and she was like, we just did more in 4 months than I thought I would experience and achieve in the next 20 years of my life. And she freaked out because she was terrified of the next level. Suddenly, it was like one day she woke up and realized she was 10 levels beyond what she ever thought possible, which is great. Like, that's what everyone wants. That's what every human listening to this wants. So wouldn't you think you're like, oh my God, if that's what's possible, I'm going to run towards it. Like that, I want a life bigger than I've even imagined. Yes. But your nervous system freaks out. And so this is where people don't really see complacency coming from. Because you want the next level, you think about it constantly, you say you're going after it, but deep down, if you're terrified, that's when it changes everything. And your nervous system doesn't know how to handle that. But it's not some unknown where your nervous system will never know. The training we give you in Fiera literally gives you what you need to train your nervous system to be able to handle it. Because your life can only ever expand as much as you expand, as much as your nervous system can expand. And that's the training we do. That's why it's important. That's why I talk so much about nervous system. I talk so much about identity. I talk so much about belief system and self-trust and all of these things. Because you can train yourself to be the kind of person who can handle this and hold it. So here's what I've learned. Success happens fast because that's what we all want, right? That's what we're here for. Success happens fast when your belief system and your identity and your nervous system are all calibrated at or above the level you're reaching for. And success slows down and therefore complacency kicks in when they're below it. And the real issue here and what complacency is really all about is almost a breakdown in self-trust at the moment it matters most. Like right when you're about to get to the next level, you suddenly lack productivity and you can't seem to get yourself to do the thing. Like it's a breakdown of self-trust right in that moment, right as you were about to go bigger. And it's a sign that your belief needs to be raised, that you need to lock into discipline and loyalty to who you want to be more than the momentary fears and emotions you have around your next level. So I need you to ask yourself, which one is running the show right now? Have I lost belief that I can get further? Or am I terrified of what the next level will require? So your solution, it's not this motivation BS. It's self-trust, it's regulation, it's belief, it's discipline. Shocker, it's all the things that I put in Fiera. I've been able to build this bigger life because of these things that I've trained myself to do. I need to stress to you guys, I always do this and I just feel like it's so important. I was not this person. I was the small girl, the invisible girl, the girl who always wanted these big things, but backed down, was terrified, didn't go after. I wasted so many years in that. And most people waste years in complacency. They see the pattern, they know what's happening, they even know what they should do, but they can't break it. Because complacency isn't something that you think your way out of. It's something that you train yourself out of. You build your way out of. Through self-trust, through belief, through regulation, through consistent action, even when your nervous system is afraid. And inside Fiera, we don't just tell you what complacency is. I did this for the podcast, right? You don't need to be in Fiera to know what complacency is. We just did it here. But we do give you the exact protocols to get out of it. The self-talk tracks to rebuild your belief, the regulation tools to handle the stretch, the accountability that keeps you moving forward when your pattern wants you stuck. I've seen girls stuck in complacency for years join Fiera and break through it within weeks. Let me just even break down what's in Fiera a little bit more so that you see. We really focus on confidence and identity rewiring. We have self-talk tracks, visualization work, nervous system regulation, subconscious rewiring, so that you develop unshakable self-trust and confident energy. We have discipline and habit systems, where discipline protocols, daily execution things for you to do, consistently building, so you actually become someone who follows through. We also train your capacity. We train your nervous system so that you can actually increase the amount of pressure and responsibility and opportunity and success that you can handle. And then we give you, this is the most fun part, we focus on life and wealth expansion. I give you 365 days, every single day, a new action, a new training, a new riff, a new little podcast unlocks where we help you build financial wealth, physical wealth, emotional wealth, mental wealth, time wealth, where you actually can build a bigger life through these actions. And right now, we're testing something new. This is the offer that I said you may have to make a deal. If I change your mind on complacency, which I know I did, you'd have to at least listen to. So here's the little new thing. Fiera has always been something that you join for a year, and for good reason, because girls stay multiple years. I have girls who have been in my world since 2020. Crazy. Girls stay for years because Fiera's addicting. They're obsessed. It's the thing they gatekeep. It's too good to quit. But I know so many of you guys are eyeing it, but you're nervous about the year thing. And I've been listening. I've been listening to you girlies. So I'm going to open up something just for you for a minute, for a little. You can, for a limited time, join Fiera for $99 a month to month. You're not locked in. You can stay a month, or you can join and realize that you're obsessed with the life and version of you it creates and stay as long as you'd like. And you get the same stupid amounts of support and resources and coaching inside. And my girls literally tell me I should charge more. So you get that for $99 a month. But the link will not be up forever. So if you've been on the fence because of the commitment, now is your shot. And I'm not saying this, I swear, hand to my heart, I'm not saying this to create fake urgency. I'm saying it because it's true. I don't know how long I'm going to offer this as a month-to-month option. So if you know that you're in complacency and you know you want to build the discipline, the competence, the energy, the habits of an ambitious person who follows through and actually creates what they want, this is your sign. Come hop in. The link is in the show notes for now. I genuinely cannot tell you how long it's going to be there before we take this away. So if you want to join Fiera for a month and see how it goes, see how you like it, see the crazy things that happen to people inside just for their first 4 weeks, get in the show notes, come hop in for a month. And I'll say this too. If you've been eyeing tier 2, not tier 1, just come DM me and we can talk about that. I hope you love this episode. As always, please, please, please screenshot it, put it on your Instagram stories. Make a TikTok, tell the girls that you love it. Keep listening, come back, head to the show notes, hop in Fiera, and I will catch you guys next week. Love you.